Well, it looks like we've found a new way of ridding us motorists from our cars. Let's begin. Driving is, of course, a freedom that we all take for granted, well, if you can drive anyway. And the thing is, unfortunately, it looks like you soon might not be able to drive to work without being punished for it. And I say that because according to this article, it goes on to say that drivers will soon apparently have to pay charges to park their cars at work under radical new charges in Glasgow. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure someone like Sadiq Khan would just love to roll something like this out. But that, if anything, is not only going to stop people from wanting to drive their cars to work, obviously, but also going to probably put people off work and for companies that impose these charges to begin with, isn't it? Causing nothing but a shortage in the workforce, which obviously we don't need, all depending, of course, how much these charges are. But it does appear, doesn't it, that since the rollout of ULEZ, every council or devolved administration does appear to be going ULEZ or park and charge mad, don't they? And this time it says the plans for a workplace park and levy will be put into action after the plan was apparently approved at a budget meeting held on Thursday. And the workforce park and levies charge employers who provide parking spaces for their staff with higher fees slapped on to companies with more bays. And yes, I know, while it is the employers that apparently pay this, how long will it be before they announce something or give you a memo that from such and such date you will now have to pay £100 a month or whatever to park your car at work? I mean, no doubt in someone like Sadiq Khan's eyes, if he rolls a similar thing out in London, he'll probably think, oh, that will cause an influx of people wanting to use the tube. And no doubt, of course, bring loads more money into TfL, which, let's face it, they do get quite a lot already when they're not wasting it on £6 million signs to change or create new names of railway stations. Which, let's face it, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure that money could have been spent a little bit more wisely, or actually a lot more wisely. But either way, it says that fees will be paid directly to businesses, but charges are likely to be handed down to employees to recoup costs, as I just said. And councillors have approved putting together a business case and consultation on the plans ahead of a possible future adoption. Which, I don't know about you, but this is just going to cause nothing but problems for us workers as it is. I mean, we're having a pretty hard time at the moment, aren't we? The whole cost of living crisis. I mean, the last thing we actually need or want is to be charged for going to work to do our job, to bring in any money that we can before, of course, the government taxes us on it even more. But of course, just to add to all this, Glasgow City Treasurer Ricky Bell, I wonder if his last name was End originally, but said the budget has puts in the place the opportunity for those plans to be brought to fruition. Well, Ricky, or Mr. Bell, and, if this does get brought in, I'm guessing that quite a lot of people might seek jobs elsewhere or over the border. But then again, of course, that is going a bit far-fetched, isn't it? Especially if you live quite far into Scotland. Either way, though, that is going to do nothing but pee off a load of drivers everywhere, isn't it? Including me, if they brought that in where I live, which thankfully is quite far away from Scotland. But get this, the charges are apparently being implemented after the Scottish Government encouraged local authorities to introduce schemes. Well, how lovely of them. It does make me wonder, though, if the government is encouraging this, if, I don't know, something like EVs will presumably be exempt from the scheme. I mean, it does appear that everything they can do to try and make people switch over to EVs sooner, by taxing the hell out of them it seems, does appear to be the national strategy on that, doesn't it? And back in 2022, politicians stressed that the parking charges are part of an overall vision and set out in Scotland's national transport strategy. They also claimed that giving authorities the power to introduce work for parking fees would also devolve more responsibility to local government. Well, yeah, because not the government presumably is going to want to bring this crap in, are they? Especially any future Labour or Conservative government that brings this in nationally is not going to get voted in again, are they? We should not be forced, in my opinion, to pay for parking at work where you previously got it for free. Especially if the company doesn't actually want to bring it in the first place. I mean, who the hell does the government think they are with this? Or the Scottish Government, should I say, if they do bring this in. Which hopefully, I know it's at the planning stage at the moment, but it is quite worrying if it does actually get implemented, isn't it? But hold on a minute, because it does look like I was right, because it says the former Minister of Transport, Jenny Gilruth, I hope I pronounced that right, said the working parking levy is a key tool which empowers local councils in encouraging people out of their cars to move on to more sustainable modes of transport. This is vitally important if we were to reach 20% reduction in car kilometres by 2030. Well, to be honest, we go in miles, not car kilometres. There are some exemptions though, because it does say that parking bays For reserved blue badge holders, hospices and qualified NHS premises will be exempt from any fees. Well, at least that's something, but that is still a massive kick in the gonads for basically everyone else who goes to work, isn't it? Unless, of course, we want to go on public transport. They do say, though, that the revenue generated by these schemes must support policies in local transport strategies, which allows, apparently, local authorities to raise finance to invest it according to local need. The levy can also support improvements in public active transport, making it more attractive and therefore encouraging individuals to leave their cars at home. Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but if I pay quite a lot of money for a car, and on top of that I have to pay insurance, tax, and of course petrol to run it, or diesel, or electric, or whatever you use, you are going to want to use that car. You're not going to suddenly think, oh, do you know what? I pay £300 for that paperweight a month, you know. I think I'll leave it at home and pay another £2 on the bus to get there, another £2 to get back, when I could have gone in the car and saved myself about £3. But I just think they're not getting it, are they? But of course, if Sadiq Khan does bring in a similar thing, on top, of course, of his ULEZ and rumoured pay by moral tax, or whatever, then to be honest, I think on top of all that, I think he should change his name to Sad IQ Khan. But I will let you know about that as soon as I find out.